Oh, hello, don't want to do that. That wouldn't be a good start. And with that, I will say hello everyone. Welcome to the IRL. Today is the F2 tier. We're in round 3 for Mexico. Personally, one of the tracks I like. Although recently it's been getting the better of me. Don't exactly have a big grid today. We've got 13 drivers, however 2 of those are debutants. I believe one of them is already in the lobby. Nico Gamer, who is... I think he signed up as a reserve. And then the other debutant, I believe, will be joining for the feature race. Hey, David. Yeah, Gerball, I believe, is making his debut today. And he will be hopefully joining for the sprint. Just waiting on a few more now. Shouldn't be too long. I believe there's only 13 drivers. One of them that we are waiting on is current championship leader Steinos Reeks. Hello, Socks. Good evening. Steinos is just rebooting his game. And the other driver that we'd be waiting on would be Gerbil, but he, I don't believe, is able to make qualifying. He has risen. There he is. We'll have 2 joining for the feature, Gerbil and Steve. So we've got a grid of 14 for tonight. I believe that also means we can go then. What's this about, David? Excuse me while I just sniff on stream. I'm not feeling amazing at the moment. Football things. That's really helpful. Are we going to ready up anytime soon? Yes. I'll be waiting a few minutes while we wait. So that people can load their setups and the like. Oh, it's going to be another hectic one-shot quali session. We'll hope that nobody disconnects. We won't be waiting long. Oh wow, okay. This is very interesting. I don't think we've had rain this season yet. I wonder what the reaction is going to be. Oh, somebody's readied up early. That's helpful. I don't know who it is. My interest would be... Yes, okay, so everybody is on the wets. That's interesting. So we'll see who's gone for a dry setup and who's gone for a wet setup. We'll go with the championship leader for now. Deflated has been doing really well this week. Just English. Hello, that would help. He's right up at the front of the field for the moment. 34.9 for Steinos in the first sector. I don't imagine Deflated will be too far behind. Lots of people sending it in between turn 4 and turn 5. Gaining a lot of places. Sox is now in P2 fighting with Sebastian. Well, they're all very close at this moment in time. I haven't seen F2 around here before, as that looks like some people have invalidated their laps. Sebastian now currently leading. Steinos has invalidated. So we'll go back up to the front. Steinos has retired. That's smart. Sebastian takes pole by 1.1 seconds. Wow. So Sebastian is your pole sitter. And Steinos, having retired, is going to take reverse grid pole. I believe that is Sebastian's first pole. Rothwell in P2, Kodkamper in P3, MP having a good qualifying so far with Rothwell in P2 and Deflated in P4. Sox in P5, Smaller in P6, David in P7 with a good qualifying for ART as well. Nico taking over the Trident for today, our debutant in P8. We'll start P3 on the grid for the sprint. And Alex taking P9, the last person to set a lap. Steinos having invalidated and then retiring. Followed by Corgi and Padge, who invalidated their laps. There's something I need to check. It's rain. Oh, hello. What's gone on here then? What's going on? There's not much communication. What's going on? Okay, so there will be a restart. That's not a good start. Jeez, people are impatient sometimes. Let's get some people in here then. Uh, So I believe, as some of you may have caught the end there, Steve was able to join us right at the end of well, when the restart was called. Well, that went well. Hey, Reds. Yeah, it's not looking good for the moment. Trying to see if we can get possibly everyone in. There are a few people I don't have, unfortunately, so I can't get them in. So, a bit of a longer wait than we'd normally have. Ow. Just kicked my rig. Take nothing from this? What do you mean? Ah, I see. I see le problem. Beautiful scenery. What do you... My brain's been a bit fried from just real life things today. So if I don't respond properly, please do not be surprised. Oh. I don't have access to be able to ban people. You're like the guy that Kimmy yelled at for the gloves thing. I don't know how much sense that's going to make, but... If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Steering wheel. Gloves and steering wheel. Mark gloves. Oh my god. That clip is iconic. Right, so that should be everything set. We are ready to go. Both of the drivers that were missing in quali initially are going to be in this lobby. We are redoing quali. Okay, that's interesting. I was not prepared for this. So this whole grid order could be just completely mixed up. And it's dry. It's dry this time. I thought it was raining. It was raining the first time. Oh, hello, we're regging up. Has somebody gone early again? For goodness sake! If we're going to have to restart again, this is going to take way too long. May as well have done full quality at this stage. Well, you can see who has the lowest wings. Lots of people will make up places here into the braking zone at turn 1. Padge. Nico has already invalidated. Padge going rather slowly. I don't know if he was prepared, but Gerbil, our debutant, is currently leading in Sector 1. Rothwell and Sebastian are fighting over P2. Cod Camper now is at the front. Steiners looking to have some competition for this race today. Cod Camper still fighting out with Gerbil. Steiners is down in P6. Padge has retired from the session, so he'll be starting P14. Actually, because people have invalidated, that won't be the case. Nico Gamer had invalidated, so it'll be Deflated and Steve. And Corgi, by the looks of things. And Cod Camper will take pole with the 24.0. Corgi, 4 drivers disqualified, having invalidated their laps. Our debutant Gerbil in 5th. So Cod Camper now has taken pole. Sebastian missing out on what was his pole initially in the first qualifying session, now in P2. Shice in P3, a good recovery over the course of the lap. Rothwell P4, right behind his championship rival. Gerbil in P5, David in P6, Sox in P7, Smallest Mighty in P8, Alex in P9, setting a valid lap. Will put him on the front row for the reverse grid in the sprint. Padge taking reverse grid pole, Corgi, Deflated, Steve and Nico all invalidating their laps. Which does mean that they will all start outside of the top 10 for both races. Unless for some reason we get another restart. If we restart again, we're going to end up running out of time. Which will end up very, very, very frustrating. So I don't know how many times we can keep doing it until we run out of time. I'll update you when I know more. That's my controller that's nearly falling out of my lap. That's not very good. I can't do that. That won't end well. I do need to check. I have the grid wrong. I know why. Never mind. I did not have it wrong. I'm just trying to think whether we're going to get going again or... Right. Yeah, we are going to go with this grid. So there won't be a restart. Sorry for all the mess this is causing. No, it's okay. I'm not really going to be doing much tomorrow anyway. And even if I am, then I have a way to wake up. So, I'll be fine. I'm more worried for viewers and the drivers themselves, actually. As we do get the formation lap underway. Everybody on the soft tyre. I believe the allocation is super soft and soft for this week. Very fast-paced formation lap, especially for this first sector. You don't really want to be pushing your tyres too hard. Mexico can have an adverse effect on your rear tyres if you push too hard. Alex will going off track. I think we'll also see a lot of track limits penalties because in this game the F2 cars have the same hitbox as the F1 car. So it becomes just a massive pain for track limits. Not only are most of them wrong, or glitched in Imola's case, it's even harder to spot because the car isn't hitboxed properly. Which makes it a whole lot harder for the drivers. Has Sebastian gone round? Yeah, at some point Sebastian has gone round on this formation lap, so he'll be the last car to pull into his grid slot. But not the last car on the grid. Oh, hello. Somebody's been disqualified. What's going on here then? I'll need a clip of that. As we look to the lights. It's lights out and F2 is underway for the IIRL. That's a pretty decent start from Padge. It's a really good start for who looks like socks in the background. Everybody is going to be getting the slipstream from behind. Small Smiley looking to the inside. They're almost going 3 wide. Can't quite make it there. That's David in the ART liveried. ART? Hello. In the Alpine liveried ART. There's a bit of carnage in the background. Alex from the front row has fallen down the field. Steinos Reese has made his way up into P3. Small Smiley attacking Padge for the lead. Looking to the outside of turn 4. Becomes the inside for turn 5. And that's a good move from Smaller there. Padge going wide, getting shuffled out, and has been overtaken by many cars. There's a few cars in the background, like Sebastian and Gerbil, one of our debutantes, coming together with the teammate of our championship leader, or coming into the last round in the assisters. Rothwell made a move on David in the S's. That's a brave move at the best times, let alone in the F2 cars. Small having a little bit of a wiggle. DRS won't be activated until the end of lap 2, because there's a bit of a glitch in here where the DRS gets activated 1 lap later than it should. So at this point it will just be all momentum. Smaller Smiley leading the first lap. He moves to try and break the toe. Steinos goes with him. Will look to defend the inside, but Steinos gets there first. And Steinos is going to take the lead. Padge has retired from pole position. So that's not good at all. Codcamper and Socks fighting through the first two corners, and Codcamper's going to win out that battle. Just about in the Williams liveried ART. And the Sauber liveried Rodent will fall behind for now. The Smaller Smiley back to the front. He's not exactly letting Steinos get away at the moment. We'll have to wait and see if this pace can hold up over the course of a stint. For the sake of this race, it will be quite nice, as that is almost definitely a track limit there. Nico Gamer picking up his first track limits penalty of the race, and the first track limits penalty of the race. Oh, that's a big slide for Smaller there. He'll be falling down the field like no tomorrow, and he's back down to P5. I think Socks will get him here as well, but that does mean that Rothwell will not have the DRS. I think Smaller probably just pushing a little bit too hard, trying to stay in Steinos' DRS. It won't be activated until this lap, so when English, come on! When the cars next go through the next section zone, they will have DRS if they are within 1 second. So Steinos now 2/10 safe to that gap of 1 second. You don't want to let this man run away, because as we've seen in the past, when he runs away and is able to take control, he runs away massively. The yellow flag in the back, that is Sebastian, our one-time pole sitter from earlier on. Unfortunately, with the lobby restart, was not able to retake that. Nico Gamer has also gone round on the exit of turn 6. But Rothwell not quite able to get into the DRS. David making a little bit of a mistake and is falling out of the DRS of Rothwell, who himself has had a really good stadium section and has caught 2/10 to Steinos, getting some really good traction. 26.6 for both drivers. Camper setting a 26.5, Gerbil with a 26.2, so we know he has pace. It'll be just a wait and see game as the two ARTs going side by side into turn 1. David wisely backing out, but Codcamper going very, very deep. This will not help their case catching the front as Nico Gamer retires from this race. We'll look back to Rothwell now. Just waiting for now. Steinos, as we would have seen earlier, almost definitely getting a warning from going off track in the fast right-hander into the stadium section. Again, can't be sure, because I'm not allowed to pull up the race director. But the gap is maintaining around about 1.2. If Rothwell can have a really good stadium section again, that could put him onto the back of the championship leader. Bear in mind, these two are actually championship rivals this season, based off of the first two races that we've had. They're 1 and 2 in the championship. There's some good traction for Steinos, which Rothwell is able to match. Joel now sitting at 26.1. I think he'll look to get past Smaller, who also has DRS. It's not going to be easy. He does make it past. David getting back past Codcamper in the foreground. Gerbil able to hold off Smaller's slipstream for now. And we'll look to try and catch the two ARTs and the Sauber liveried Rodin of Socks. in the fight for P3. Sebastian now picking up his track limits penalty. Corgi defending from Steve, going very deep and basically letting Steve pass, but in doing so into P9. Bear in mind the top 8 score points in the sprint rather than the top 10. As David and Codcamp are going very close to one another. David moving to the right hand side. I think he's just let his teammate go there, which is a rather smart move. I don't think it's smart to do here though. Corgi also getting a 3-second track limits penalty. Rothwell with not quite the wondrous final sector he had before. Some pretty good traction at the final corner though. We'll see if he's able to gain on Steinos throughout the straight. Not quite, as that will be David taking the inside. Socks taking the grass to get past Codcamper there. That's a ballsy one. Smaller to the inside on Gerbil. Isn't quite able to make that, but does keep the inside. No, doesn't quite take the position. Socks defending from Codcamper, even though he has the DRS. But he'll look to get past the two battling ARTs. Alex now picking up a 3-second time penalty as well, as that is Deflated Wee who has gone round. And his rear tyres will be on fire now. And you've just got to be so careful in the S's, because the F2 car can't quite turn like the F1 car can. It may seem obvious that Stein's making a bit of a mistake there in that right hand of Rothwell, able to close in by a few tenths there. But it may seem obvious, but you have to just be so much more careful in the F2 car compared to the F1 car. But it's even more so because of the glitches that this game has with the F2 hitbox, as Sox gets past David with a rather simple move using the DRS. Codcamper able to stay behind David. Small Smiley going past Gerbil, and Steve also getting past Corgi, which I don't think Corgi will fight too hard because he does have the 3-second time penalty. That is David and Codcamper fighting into turn 4. Codcamper able to get that move done. Rothwell able to keep that gap a bit, just rather stable. Smaller Smiley's gone round on the exit of turn 5. Corgi going a little bit wide there. Smaller rejoining in a safe manner. As... what on earth? Oh, Gerbil was spun as well. Rejoined onto the racing line, but is able to recover. Deflated Wee now picking up a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Rothwell has closed in a little bit that gap. Deflated, that will get removed for certain, because I imagine that would be on Gerbil. As Deflated has spun again. Codcamper now getting back past Socks. Our current championship leader of the assisted. Deflated speeding into the pit lane. I imagine he'll retire, and he does. It's unfortunate for Deflated. He was having a pretty good race. For having a bit of an incident off the start. Unfortunate there, especially with the penalty, but I don't think that will get removed now. Again, Rothwell able to just keep that gap around about 1.3, ranging to 1.5. Excuse me there. But we'll see if Steinos has pushed too hard in this early part of this stint. Oh, that would have been very close for Rothwell on track limits there. But if Steinos makes a mistake, Rothwell is definitely going to be there to capitalise on it. as David now picking up a 3-second time penalty. Again, you've just got to be so careful. And it may seem like the most obvious thing in the world, but it's really not. These cars are so difficult to handle. But Rothwell closing in a little bit on that lap. If we look up their fastest laps, it's currently Gerbil with a 26.1. We'll see if anybody is able to... What on earth? Oh. How's he got a warning there? What? That's an odd one. That I'm sure that'll get looked at. Rothwell looking to close in. Gaps started to slow down a little bit. And as soon as I say that, it's going back down again. There's a yellow flag at the exit of turn 3. That is for Smaller Smiley, who's got the gap back to Alex closed up again. Again, just about. It's 1.3. You've got to be just on the limit with these cars. There is no in between. Vishnu's going a little bit deep through that hairpin. Rothwell not quite able to close up. But the gap now 2.2 is a yellow flag. That is Smaller Smiley, who has spun again. I don't believe he has any damage. He definitely doesn't on the right side. Oh, wow. Another spin. His rear tyres will be on fire. Cod Camper now getting back past Socks for P3. Has Deflated retired because he is called Liam? No, Deflated retired because he spun and got a 10-second penalty for overtaking under yellow flags. And thus decided to not participate further in the sprint race. I believe that 10-second would have been removed though. At least if not reported. Hello Ethan. Welcome to the stream. We hope you will enjoy. At the moment it's been a bit of a quiet race. That's kind of awful but funny at the same time. I know what you mean. If I was a viewer, I would also be finding that mildly funny. But also it's not funny because you don't want to see any driver penalised. Rothwell, again, closing in by about a tenth and a half through that final sector. Is on the traction for the final corner. He's missing out ever so slightly, but this is the gap where the lap where the gap has come down the most. So possibly the slipstream being able to take effect soon, and Rothwell, having closed that gap, will be ever more confident in closing back up to the AIX. Socks now moving into third place ahead of Cod Camper. We'll keep an eye on Rothwell this lap in the Williams liveried MP. The car that took Franco Colapinto to his F1 seat. That is something I would like to see. Is a little bit like Creator Series did with F2, and if you win the championship in F2, you move up to F1. It would require probably a lot of work and a lot of organising, but I do think it's a good idea that could work, as Cod Camper now making it 2 ARTs with 3-second time penalties. So they've both got to be careful, but at this stage it's looking set that Socks will take the third step on the podium. The fight for P1 not over yet though. Rothwell, if he's able to have a good section here, as he hasn't quite been able to get into the DRS of Steinos. I'm missing racing, but I'll be back eventually. That's understandable. As Gerbil now picking up a 3-second time penalty. There's only 4 drivers without now, and they're all not really in a position to gain anything. The only person who would is, I would say, Socks, if the 2 behind get past. And the same applies for Steve if Corgi manages to get past, who does have the DRS and is probably going to go through here as well. Looks to the inside, as they're going to go side by side through turn 1 and 2, and Steve manages to hold that place, but Corgi will have the DRS down into turn 4. Steve holding the inside, moving back to the racing line. Corgi doesn't quite go for that move. As Sebastian... Ooh, that's a late send. Gerbil sees him coming. Ooh! That was a close move. No contact made, but Sebastian does go round. Steve and Corgi you may have seen swapping on the leaderboards. Or leaderboard, I should say. There's only one. Rothwell having some good traction through there. Sebastian picking up his second track limits penalty, as that is Cod Camper who has gone round now. Will David still have the DRS? We'll see him come up to the DRS line around about now, and he does. So yeah, he'll want to look to get back into the DRS there. That is Gerbil who's also gone round now. As we are coming on to the penultimate lap now. And Rothwell's had a really good turn 1, 2 and 3. If he can keep up this momentum, he'll stay within the DRS for the short burst on the run into the final sector. And yeah, Rothwell's within 9/10 now. So yeah, I think Rothwell, if he doesn't manage to make a mistake in the S's, will be within the DRS of Steinhaus. And yeah, that was the DRS line that you saw there. So Rothwell does have the DRS into here. We'll see how much of a difference it makes. It's a few tenths at most. Steinhaus going a little bit wide again. So this fight for the lead will go right down to it. Rothwell able to keep within the DRS there. He's at 3/4 of a second. He'll look to get some good traction out of here. A little bit of a wiggle, keeping it nice and tight though, as he will have the DRS now. 7.5 tenths currently in the arrears for the AIX. That's currently the championship leader. As Rothwell not quite able to close up. David now getting past Sox as well, as we'll focus on the fight for the lead. Rothwell with a little bit of a slide, but some good traction overall. Will go on board with the MP man. Doesn't quite go for the move. Will we see an opportunist move? Or possibly another unorthodox move? We saw a move in the S's earlier in this race. Or will Rothwell just sit behind? Oh, you can't just sit behind. You're a racing driver. You want to go for this win. He's got the DRS now. The DRS here doesn't really matter too much. Steinhaus takes the inside, moves back to the racing line. Rothwell knows he can get a good amount of traction through here. Oh no, Rothwell has half spun there, which will allow Steinhaus to take the race win. He'll come through the final corner now, the Peraltada, and cross the line in first for the sprint race win. Rothwell, after a brilliant chase, will come home P2, Sox in P3. David taking P4. Not quite able to overtake Sox on the line. Cod Camper will take P5. Unsure on the penalties, so we could... No, Steve will take P6, Corgi in P7. We'll pull up the penalties now. Yeah, all of these drivers were 6 seconds and even smaller with 3, not able to capitalise on Sebastian's gap. So Gerbil will take P8, a point on debut in the sprint. Alex will take P9 from the front row of the grid. He'll have wanted probably a little bit more from that race. Sebastian P10. The two Invictus not having a good race, both with a few spins. So not what they would have wanted, I'm sure. But that was a thrilling chase. And hopefully there's more of that in the main race to come. So it is the Dutchman, our current championship leader, taking the sprint win, followed by Rothwell, who is currently the championship chaser in P2, socks with the P3 for Rodin. Some good fights up and down the field, also a brilliant, thrilling chase for the race win, coming right down to the last sector. Unfortunate for Rothwell with the spin. Oh dear lord, hello! Ow! I just dropped my controller on my foot. That's not very good. That's going to go on the YouTube VOD. That's really not good. So yeah, Steinos, Rothwell and Socks on the podium. David taking P4, Quad Camper in P5 for a good race for ART at the moment. Steve taking P6, the sole VAR in this race. Corgi for P7 and Gerbil in P8 points on debut. Alex in P9, Sebastian in P10, just missing out on those points. Smaller Smiley in P11, deflated Nico and Padge DNFing early on. I apologise for that. I was trying to look through the chat because I saw some messages. Hello Red Dragon, welcome to the stream. Steve says he's got half a setup. That's not very good. We'll now have our 5-minute break. And for Steinos, that is 3 sprints, of which 3 sprint wins. That is mental. This man is having the form of his life at the moment. We'll wait and see on penalties what's going to happen there. I also don't know when the ready up time is, so I'll have a look now. Ready up time is in 1 minute at 20 past. I'm going to be P5 by turn 1. On board for Cod Campers start. Let's see this happen. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, the slipstream is really, really powerful here, so that's honestly not surprised that you think that. It could be better than you think, though. But we'll have to wait and see. You never know. Steve saying this driver's for Sun God. as we can ready up now. Right. Are we loading in? Hello. Steve, did you really say what is 07? Get back in the car, you donut. The race is about to start. So God Camper then, for ART, will lead them away. That is some interesting tyre strategy. That's probably why he's saying he's going to be P5 off the start, because he is in fact on the soft tyre. So he's going for the inverse strategy, as is David, Alex, Padge and Deflated. Everybody else is on the super softs to try and go aggressive off the start. So for formation lap, it's a skill to get these tyres warmed up. Because my word, these things are like super hard tyres. They just hardly warm up. What on earth? Oh, I see, you're somebody that knows Steinos. Welcome in. You just missed it, mate. He just won the sprint race. So... Currently, the championship leader is starting in P3. We'll have to wait and see where he takes it from there. Am I DC with you? You mean you're in a Discord call with him at the moment? That's cool. Jesus. I mean, Sungod, you're not wrong. As asked, we will go on board with Cod Camper Deflated and Steve, both having been disqualified from the formation lap, as we look to the red lights. Lights out for the feature racers. A very quick lights out. Look from behind for Cod Camper. Shines with a pretty good start there. Already getting past Sebastian. Looks to the outside on Cod Camper, as they're almost touching there. Coming towards the braking zone roundabout now. Cod Camper with the inside. Will hang it round the outside of turn 2 for the inside for turn 3. Leaves Steinos room on the outside. Even on the soft tyres, he's able to keep Steinos around himself. Looks to the inside. Steinos goes a little bit deep. He's got Sebastian on his outside. As he has to go off the track to avoid Sebastian, and he'll have to give up that place. Rothwell now looking to possibly make a move. I don't think he should though in the S's. It will just lose you time, hand over fist. But Cod Camper with a pretty good start considering he's on the softs. But Steinos is able to take the lead from P3 on the grid. Sebastian holding P2 will bring up the... where is it? Position change. So yeah, Steinos and Cod Camper have only swapped places. Rothwell and Gerbil maintaining where they were on the grid. Sox getting past David, as that is Nico, I believe, who has spun. Smaller Smiley losing 6 positions off the start. Alex losing 3. Deflated, able to move up 2. And Steve up an impressive 4. So we'll go back to the tyres. We'll have to wait and see how badly they drop off. Yes, I'm in call. Well, too bad in this game, so I'll watch and support styles. Yeah, that's fair enough, man. Oh, hello. Excuse that. You're supposed to leave space. Yeah. Yeah, I think that will possibly be looked at because it did gain him the position at the end of the day. Gerbil has got past Rothwell in the interim. Oh, Rothwell. As Sock's now getting past the man who is P2 in the championship at the moment, but these drivers are sticking within DRS. This is really, really good for Cod Camper, who's going to look to try and extend his stint, and even then he's going to be faster come the end of it because he will take the super softs compared to the rest of the drivers who will take the softs. It's a good idea to see how long they can go, and it is good for COD as well, who's able to see how long these super softs last. Shinos is really struggling in this final sector, especially through that hairpin. That was Sox getting passed by Rothwell. That's a really interesting move to make in the stadium section. We'll go back up to the lead fight. No DRS for now. Actually, you know what? We'll go back down to Sox and Rothwell because Sox is looking to make a move with the slipstream. Steve looking to make a move on Corgi in the background. Sox takes the inside. Can't quite get that move done. David just lurking around in the background. Corgi and Steve going side by side through turn 1 and 2. Steve is able to muscle his way past there. A bit of a slide on exit. Deflated will look to get past Corgi as well. It's Deflated on the soft tyres. Corgi and Steve on the super softs. This will be a good move for Deflated if he can pull this one off, and does so. Round the outside as Cod Camper's gone round. The lead driver on the soft tyres, he had a coming together with Gerbil. I think he has, because they've both gone down the field. So this turns it into a two-horse race between Sebastian and Steinos. Everybody just falling to the wayside. In a rather surprise turn of events, but that will hurt Cod Camper's race to no end. We'll check Gerbil. He does not have wing damage. Does Cod Camper? Can't quite see because we only have the wing cap at the moment. But we've definitely wrecked his confidence just a little bit there. Sebastian, not with a great exit there. This is really helping me with what I want to accomplish right now. As Cod Camper has got Smaller Smiley alongside him. I don't believe... Yeah, no, Cod does not have wing damage, as far as I can see. It's so hard to tell because it's black on black. Is that Nico getting past Padge? No, he does have wing damage, does Cod. He's got no front left end plate. As he rejoins the track safely. In the words of Mr. Broadbent, re-safe jointly. Shinos is slowly driving away P2. I would not be so sure of that, my friend. Sebastian is certainly not going anywhere anytime soon. He's no slouch, as we saw in the first race of the assists here. And the DRS is also very, very powerful on this game. So if you want to break somebody, you have to just hope that they make a mistake. I really don't like that nose cam. You can't see. Rothwell looking for the inside on Socks. Can't quite get that move done. David now the highest soft tyre runner. Rothwell almost practically pushing Socks through there. As he will look to get some good traction. Sebastian will have the DRS, so he won't be falling away from Steinos anytime soon. But Rothwell will look to the inside. And is able to take P3. We'll go back to Sebastian for a little bit. Socks loses out to David as well. And will Sebastian go for a move? He's within half a second at the moment. The DRS will be helping him there. Corgi taking a 3-second track limits penalty for the third time this weekend. Having also invalidated his qualifying lap. Sebastian with a little bit of a wiggle. Gerbil and Steve going side by side through turns 4 and 5 as Gerbil gets that move done on the outside of turn 5. That is impressive stuff. Smaller getting past Nico as well. This little 4-car train. Cod Camper with that wing damage as well. Managing to pull away. We'll go back to the lead fight. again, in the McLaren-sponsored Invicta, there's Nico Gamer now getting a 3-second penalty as well. 2 of the cars in that 4-car train picking those up. Alex picking up another one. As the gap is now 7 tenths. There's a yellow flag in Sector 3. That is Swan Smiley who's gone round again. He's not having a good time this weekend. Steins feeling the need to move a little bit just to try and break the toe. David getting past Rothwell and Gerbil getting past Socks. Again, will Sebastian look to make a move? He's got a really good exit out of there. Able to keep with Steinos for the moment. He's closing in but not quite able to make the move. Steinos is able to just about hold on. Sebastian going a little bit wide through there. But at this stage I would imagine the soft tyre will probably be quite the amount faster. Steinos just able to turn that car in where he wants it to go. But Sebastian is not falling out of the DRS. The only thing at this stage that will curtail Sebastian's charge here will probably be a track limits penalty. But again, Steinos not quite having the best time through this section here. As Sebastian getting a pretty good exit. Steinos an even better one. Gap is 6 tenths, so it's closer than it was last lap. So the slipstream will take effect. The DRS now in effect. So Sebastian will close back up. Rothwell retakes P3 from David. Steinos gets Sebastian getting to within 3 tenths of a second. Not able to make a move though. I think this may just end up being a status quo. Is Corgi picking up another track limits penalty? Cod Camper has overtaken him. There's Nico Gamer who has gone round on the exit of turn 3. It's unfortunate for one of our debutants tonight. The other one faring rather well fighting for P3. But yeah, back to the lead fight. Steinos indeed is a bit falling back on Sector 1 and 3. Yeah, I agree. I think his struggle is Sector 3. I think Sector 1, he's just about okay in terms of compared to Sebastian in his ability to hold on. I don't think it helps that Sebastian has the DRS Nico Gamer picking up his second track limits penalty, as that is deflated Wee, who's gone off in the stadium section, as that is a broken front left end plate, I believe, as he's got another 10 seconds for speeding as he does retire. Sebastian does take the lead, so I imagine the drivers will start to think about getting into the pits sooner rather than later. But Sebastian with the DRS should be able to hold on. It's a lot of moving. Steins with a late move. Not quite able to get alongside, but is able to spook Sebastian off the racing line a bit. Will take the inside for turn 6. They've both got to be really careful that they don't come together, but that's a really good defence from Steinos there. And he does retake the lead. All of this fighting, you would have thought would have slowed them down. But David hasn't really caught in all that much. Is the DRS now active for Sebastian again? Sorry. He's just getting not quite the exit that he'd want off of that hairpin. As they both stay out for another lap. That is Rothwell coming in. That will be possibly looked at for Gerbil for cutting the pit entry. As Sebastian will definitively take the lead now. Nico Gamer picking up his third track limit penalty. So we'll wait and see what happens with Steve, Gerbil and Rothwell. Rothwell is still in P3. Steinos can't quite look for that move, but Sebastian will be pretty slightly put off by what happened last lap. He won't want a repeat, as Rothwell, has he spun out the pits? Because Rothwell is now very far behind both Gerbil and Steve. So these two as well may look to come in this lap, because the tyres are starting to go off. That's Padge and Alec getting past Smaller, who has gone round on the exit of turn 5. Pit lap incoming, tyres are dying. Yeah, I would have thought so. Sox and Gerbil both picking up penalties now. Sox, who managed not to get one in the sprint, but is going to take one in the race now. Both of the drivers going into the pits. They've got to be careful they don't speed. Sebastian taking it very careful, as that will definitely get removed. For that minor tap, are you serious? As on their inverse strategy, the ARTs take up the 1-2 for the moment. Padge will take P3 for the moment, as Alex takes P4. Just behind Padge, will look to the outside. And that's quite the good move from Alex there. Padge cutting the corner a little bit there. Sebastian has come out inside Steinos. It's an interesting move there. And the cold tyres won't help their case either. Gerbil will look to close up to them. Corgi now picking up his third track limits as well. Brake check in the pits. I can tell you for a fact that's not a brake check. A brake check would be braking in a straight line. If you're taking it easy into the pits, that's not a brake check. That's just the car in front taking it cautious. So do not call that a brake check. As Rothwell now picking up a 3-second time penalty as well. Sebastian practically pushing Steinos through the stadium section. Padge now comes in. Well, Steinos was screaming. Well, yeah, because this... That really helps David and Cod. Smaller picking up a track limits penalty. I don't know what's happened there. Rothwell speeding in the pit lane has retired in this race. But that gives David and Cod Camper some really good luck here. But Steinos will have that 10 seconds removed, so he will have to stay out. He has no choice. I imagine he'd be screaming because that penalty is... Yeah, that penalty is illegitimate. And it will be removed, provided he doesn't serve it. And the reason for that is because in this game, the game thinks... For some reason, when you make the tiniest bit of contact going into the pit lane, under safety car, it will give you a 10-second penalty. Even if it doesn't look like contact. But I can tell you that that's not a brake check. That was not intentional from Sebastian. It's just him taking the pit lane cautious. David and Cod Camper are definitely going to double stack here. Now he is happy. Yes. You know, provided, yeah, like I said, provided he doesn't serve it at all, yeah, he's going to get that removed. He does need to provide his race director, so he will need to keep that in mind. But yeah, he will get that removed. I am the steward, just as a heads up, so yeah, I can tell you quite safely that that will be removed. I know the rules for that kind of incident. Hello, Snacks. Welcome back. Welcome in. I don't quite know what this safety car is for. Would have loved to join you tonight, but something came up and didn't feel like it anymore. Yeah, that's fair enough. What the flip? What? What just happened? What just happened? What? Okay, so first of all, that's retiring on track. You can't do that. Second of all, what in the name of hell happened there? What happened? Snuffy, if you're still here, can you get Steiner to explain what happened? Because I didn't even see that. He got straight line, that's what he's telling me. Surely not. It's not like you would just blatantly straight line somebody on a safety car. I can imagine it would be a lack of concentration. But my word, is that bad. And also, if you can let Steinos know that he will need his race director, especially if he wants to get that 3-second removed. I couldn't quite see what happened, so I'll have to wait for the steward's report to come in to pass judgment on that. I don't quite know what happened, Sun God. What I'm being told is that Steinos got straight lined under safety car and is now back down into P6 from P1. And David, who now has the super soft tyres on, is in a very good position to win this race. English, hello. Quadcamper has some people to get through in order to move his way up the field. But I don't know what happened under safety car. We'll have to wait and see about the clip. Steinos will definitely send that in. So yeah, as the safety car will come in this lap, we'll go with David for now on the super soft tyres. He'll be absolutely raring to go. He's got to be absolutely on it. We'll be able to see quite clearly when Sebastian goes here, because we've got a pretty wide camera shot. Not quite going yet. The pack is about to stack up. That is just not... You can't do that, guys. Sebastian has gone. He's gone round the final corner. David hasn't exactly gone with him. Also, Steinos got damage on the rear wing. Interesting. So Steinos is going to be, well, a bullet in a straight line. We've got to be really, really careful. As Steve gets past David. That's very interesting. David not quite able to make use of those super soft tyres. Steinos will be looking to go rather quickly here. Dutch things. Fun. I can't understand this. I am not bilingual. But yeah, David will want to push well up the field if he wants to win this race. The DRS will get enabled to come the end of this lap, but Sebastian has had a really good safety car restart, having, well, he's essentially been protected by Steve here. As Camper now with a 3-second penalty. As he overtakes Padge, that may look at being removed if he was side by side. So for the moment, Sebastian has more than a 1-second gap, and David in P3. Unless it's the end of next lap, Steinos will look to get past Sox. Sox not able to defend that one, so that's a good move from Steinos. Trying TT Assen on March 8th. That's cool. I've never driven Assen. But it looks like a lot of fun. I've seen a lot of bike races on there for MotoGP. For the VOD, this is going to be really unrelated. You know, Assen looks like a really fun track to drive. As David is all over the back of Steve now. Those super soft tyres are properly warmed up. Assen might try and continue the Dutch Grand Prix. I would really love to see that. Yeah, Assen looks like such a fun track. If you put an F1 car on that, my word, that will produce some really good action. It looks like it's hard to overtake, but at the same time, it looks just so flowing. And just like a really fun track to drive. DRS is now enabled, so David won't have the DRS. He'll have to rely on the slipstream. Steve moving off of the racing line to break the DRS. DRS, hello? That's slipstream, not DRS. David closing in, moves back to the racing line. Steve then moves back to the racing line himself. Camper getting past Corgi. If David gets a good exit out of turn 3, Alex and Smaller Smiley fighting in the background for P8. Smaller Smiley has gone round, as has Alex. They've come together by the looks of things. But David not quite able to attack Steve for P2. With that penalty, he won't really need to. At the moment, not a grade where F1 can drive on it. Yeah, that's a good point. I believe that's also why tracks like Kyalami aren't back on the calendar. I'm a bit surprised with the planned Saudi Arabia circuit. I'm a bit surprised that's got grade 1. Because, oh my god, that thing is diabolical. That thing is huge. Final corner is 4 corners in one. Yeah, no, it's like just a massive double chicane on itself. It's so tight. But it looks like such a joy to drive, as David now will definitely get the DRS here, and he'll look to try and close back up to Sebastian. Steinos will look to go with David here. As yeah, David does definitely get that position done. Steinos will look to the inside on Steve. Oh! Championship leaders misjudged his braking, and he spun both himself and David, promoting Steve back up into P2. Camper now into P3. Fighting with Socks for P3, excuse me. And Camper will look to close up to Steve. Steinos hasn't lost out a massive margin, but David has lost out a lot. The DRS will be fun there? Yes, I agree. But that corner, what do they call it? The massive uphill one. It looks a bit like the end straight on Spa. Yeah, I know what you mean. But what do they call that? It's like the massive uphill corner that's basically just turn 1. Looks a bit like a knife, for lack of a better. Excuse me, as I just dropped my controller. COD is going to be under pressure here from Steinos and, well, from Sox and probably Steinos as well with the DRS, as Sox will move back past COD Camper. Steinos will look to the inside. Cod not quite able to hold it round the outside, so it does give that position up. But Sebastian looking like he's on to take his first feature race win. I believe... what was it? It was... What was I going to say? My brain just blanked. Aha! I know what it is. The first driver outside of the top 2 in the championship to win a race. Of any form. Turn 1 from Assen? No. As Corgi gets a 3-second penalty as well. Turn 1 for... I think it's called Kidia? The new Saudi Arabian Grand Prix from 2028. Off the top of my head. As Sox is being almost pushed through the final corner, he'll have the DRS from Steve. So this will definitely help him to get into what will be a net P3 called Camper's penalty providing. Steinos will look to the inside on Steve. Can't quite get there on Sox. Cod looking to the inside on Steve as well. That's a great move on the outside of turn 2. As Steve loses 3 positions in the matter of a few corners and a straight. Steinos will look to the inside on Sox, not quite able to take the inside. Sox well defended there. Steinos will look to get the switch back into turn 6. Can't quite get the power down. So not able to get alongside this time. This has all kicked off in the end, doesn't it? This has just gone absolutely insane. Camper very close to the back of Steinos through the S's there. But neither able to make a move. Cod's just having a bit of a fake to the inside there, as they've all stacked up through there. What on earth? As Sox now has a 6/10 advantage over Steinos from all of that stacking up. Sebastian, though, with a 4.4 second gap out front. Steinos will retake P2. God, Camper with a dive to the inside. Couldn't quite make it alongside. As that is Nico Gamer getting past David for P9. Steinos going for P2. Yeah, that's not a surprise. I think with those penalties pending, I know for a fact that 10-second will get removed. I will have a look at the 3, provided that gets sent in. But penalties providing, he will drop down the order for the moment. But yeah, I will have a look at those penalties. But Sebastian, since taking the lead over that incident and has gone through the safety car restart, he's had a really well driven race. So he'll come through the Peraltada, and Sebastian will take his first win in F2. Crosses the line first for the feature race. Steinos will take P2 after a pretty good drive. Will drop down to P5 for the moment. Sox, for the moment, will take P2, followed by Cod Camper, a brilliant recovery drive with the front wing. Steve taking P4. Padge up in P5, Smaller in P6, Steinos in P7. David P8, Corgi P9, Nico Gamer a point on debut in P10, and Alex will round off your finishers. Should be able to get my 3-second removed. Yeah, okay. Again, more things I'll have a look at. I imagine there will be many things to look at after this race for me. Oh dear. Steve says I'll take that. Yeah, you should. That's a really good drive from you there, mate. P13 to P4 for the moment. That's a really good drive. So that is your wrap for the feature race. Sebastian taking P1, Socks in P2, Camper with P3 and the fastest lap having taken pole position. Steve going from P13 to P4, that's an incredible drive. Padge in P5, Smaller having got no penalties either. Smaller in P6, Steiners in P7, David in P8, Corgi in P9, Nico Gamer again, points on debut, Alex just missing out on the points. Gerbil, Rothwell and Deflated all having some really good races, but unfortunate for their incidents. For driver of the day, I'm going to go ahead and give that to Steve. That's a really, really good drive from him today. Oh dear Lord, hello. There are many, many, many comments here. Your throttle pedal was not working properly, Nico. Yeah, that's a bit of a struggle there. Yeah, I can understand that. Thanks for the streaming. Yeah, that's good. Rids. Yeah, thank you. Again, I'm here every week. Yeah, Steve, that's a really good drive from you there today. So next race will be the assist here on Sunday. I will most likely be back with Snacks, who you will have seen in the chat today. And following that, next week will be Tuesday for NA at the Spanish Grand Prix. I hope you enjoyed today. I know I certainly did. Some good chaos mixed with some good fights. So, yeah, more from F2 next week, and we'll see you when IIRL returns. Goodbye, everyone.